Of course, that Fly is a new addition to the squad, is certainly making things look more cohesive, which is good for them, certainly. Moonmeander going to run straight into the enemy lineup here. He was hoping to put a ward down, but instantly they're not going to accomplish anything. Not the worst for them, actually. That cost them a sentry. And Moonmeander gets to save his ward, so...
I like that voice line, the Team Empire one. That's pretty good.
Yeah, the first time I've heard that one.
Yeah, I have not heard that one yet. But I like the way also that they were able to take this the Dawnbreaker. We are going to be seeing it played in that position 3 this time around instead of the position 5.
Actually, oh, I'm sorry, I got confused. I was like, oh, this is their carry player playing Dawnbreaker. What are you talking about? You're wrong. Yeah, that is their offlane. Yeah, Dawnbreaker 3 is good and bad. It should be fine totally in the game. The problem comes from the Nyx assassin on the enemy squad. This is one way that the hero got undercut really heavily. The first time that Dawnbreaker ended up looking kind of effective because you just need to spike Carapace and the ultimate gets interrupted. And then Dawnbreaker doesn't get to show up to the fight. And a lot of the value of the hero, at least in like late game scenarios, is the fact that you don't have to play near your heroes, your teammates, and then you just Solar Guardian in for a nice little fight. So that part can be really good. But that is undercut a little bit by Lion. Crit going to be playing that one. This hero has not seen much play in quite a while here, seen as a inferior 4 compared to a lot of other heroes, but it does have great disable in the Hex against Nyx, as the panelists talk about. Super good.
Do you think that's going to be the primary reason of why they decided to go for this line? Because it's not a popular pick by any means, right?
Almost certainly that's why, yeah. It has to be because of the Nyx, in my opinion. It's very popular against Nyx Assassin in the past. So certainly will be the way to play it. I'm not sure I have a lot of faith in the hero at the moment as a laner, especially against a Chen. Nyx Assassin has kind of low damage. Your raw HP is kind of weak, and yeah, you're fine in terms of other outputs, but ooh, they're going to fight for the sentry wards. Okay, they both get dewarded, so for the small camp there. So Moon's going to have to body block this one consistently. Like, you have decent regen on Nyx Assassin, but you're just not that strong of a laner, is basically the reality. But it should be fine, because Death Prophet can offset this a little bit naturally due to the power of Spirit Siphon.
I feel like that's a common complaint that you see a lot of the times coming out from these Nyx Assassin lanes, is that it has to be paired with a very strong laner, or else it's just feels very much hopeless in some cases.
Yeah, it's kind of like Lion in a way, except maybe worse because you are not a ranged hero. It's like your right-click damage is just not that incredible, so it just feels like it's better off for you. There's a nice little kill on Dubu. It just feels better for you to pick other heroes or to make sure that your offlaner or your core does a lot of the damage.
This is just very uncomfortable for Tomato here. He's just like, where's the creep wave? Where's my support? And Dubu is back here, but is a little bit of a difficult. I feel any lane, like especially with the Dawnbreaker, when you have multiple forms of being like having that disable, really makes it very difficult to approach the creeps a lot of the time.
That is true. It's going to make it a lot easier for him to land his abilities, especially against the Tiny. We've been seeing Tiny picked up already today to lane against Dawnbreaker, just because you can guarantee interrupt Starbreaker, which is pretty nice. That's one way to undermine the hero a bit. But right off the bat, Brawl is owning on Sniper 12-7 versus Abed's 5-6-0 now. He is doing super well. And look at his skill build. 0-2-1. He went take aim and headshot by level 2. No shrapnel levels. He is just focused on getting all the last hits he can. He's going to go for a double Wraithband build. He's doing great. Really, it's been a while since I've seen Abed being stepped on this bad in last inning.
I mean, poor Bryle, after that last game, it was really rough to play that Bristol back, so it is nice to see him actually getting some comfortable last hits and comfortable laning, as though Crit here at top lane does manage to go and block the camp, but he is getting enchanted now by Dubu, so this is not looking like he's going to be doing too hot here. A good stun will keep him alive a little bit longer. Pops a Fairy Fire, Nightfall will bully everybody back away from him again. Does end up losing his
Were you confused
career
for a second there too? I was like, what the hell is happening? Toss this Nightfall over to Crit so then he doesn't get the gap close on Dubu. Kind of interesting. But the Fairy Fire gets used. Everything's fine. Dubu's going to go hit Crit some more and burn out his regen. This is the tough thing about playing Lion. You don't really trade that incredibly well due to your semi-low armor and your kind of weak damage and your bad movement speed. So a hero like Enchantress should be able to out-regen you, utilizing Nature's Attendance.
Sounds like a drug commercial that you would hear, like all the side effects of all the things that's wrong, but it's good for this. It's a laundry list of things that Lion can't do during laning.
That's Dota, all right. You gotta go for the good stuff. Bryle and Puck here fighting for water runes here, and Bryle is getting a bunch of headshots. Keep in mind that Puck has basically 0 armor at the start of the game, so this sniper advantage is pretty sick actually, especially with headshot now 3 points and that 80 physical damage. It's basically giving him a double damage hit 40% of the time or 100% of the time when he uses take aim. So far it's just really beating up on Abed. Now Abed going to deward his small camp, just kind of desperately working to catch up here, but he just knows he can't trade hits. Sniper's got 7+4 armor. Puck's got 5 under tower, so there's no way, there's literally no way Puck's can out-trade him. The only advantage he has is that he has a nuke, but as long as Bryle's holding a creep wave like this, it's giving him so much leverage in this lane. Just, this is a really big deal, how well he's doing.
Let's definitely want to take advantage of that now, because eventually now Abed is going to be able to get that level 6. He's going to be rotating, he's going to be able to hold Sniper in place, and he's going to need to be able to stand his ground. But did see a kill in that top lane. They ended up chasing down Crit, so that time not going to survive as nicely as he did earlier.
Yeah, they even had a bottle pro here for Abed. Lion coming for that one. TP's mid. He is rotating towards the bot lane, but he's going to get spotted by this deep observer ward from the Dire side. So they should be able to react to Crit here.
Yeah, Moon has been on point with the way that he's just been putting up wards and blocking camps and whatnot, really making them have to deal with the blocking and whatnot.
Ooh, it could be bad for Saberlight though. Wouldn't meander left, but Saberlight's... He's a little hard to kill. He's got a chainmail and a ring of protection, 2 points Spirit Siphon, so it's going to take a lot of physical damage to kill him right now. Much more than normal. Everybody's playing for the runes.
I was about to say, everybody's moving over here to this mid lane. They're healing up Bryle. You can see EG also just over here. Gonna go and put some pressure on Moon Meander. They've got the Hex. They're gonna throw out the silence. That's a kill easily over here now. So Abed grabbing up the Invis rune. He's pretty happy with this. We'll turn around and apply some pressure here to Bryle. Follow up with the good Earth Spike. They've got the orb. Doesn't look like they're gonna go any further than that though for the time being.
Pretty good pressure though.
Fighting each other. He's just gonna steal. He says, yeah, I'll take him.
Nice little kill there. Yeah, Bryle kind of low at that point. 0-3-3 on a skill build. No assassinate. Don't blame him for his skill build. The triple wraith band's a bit interesting though. And now he's just dead. This was a large mistake.
Well, Dugo tries. He tries to get there fast enough, but takes a little time to get those sprites online, and like I said earlier, you know, he needed to have that bit of the advantage because eventually this Puck is going to get on top of him and he's not going anywhere.
Yeah, I mean, this was a moment where he just needed to play safer. His boots and a tango were coming. He had the regen coming, but he just maybe he thought he was a little bit farther ahead of Line than he was. Puck than he thought he was, because once he got Dream Coil, it was just completely over. There was also the Radiant Ward spotting him, which really helped. Sword that Abed placed to the right helps guarantee the perfect Dream Coil, but that feels bad. Bryle had such a good laning stage, and maybe he goes fly here.
Yeah, they'll follow up, and Bryle is just toast because they have the Solar Guardian online for Nightfall, so nice rotation.
Cool. If not for Solar Guardian, I think Sniper could kill Fly there, but they're anticipating this moment, and Nightfall utilizing his levels in a big way. Now the game's just turned around. 2 rapid deaths there on the Sniper, who was completely controlling the match, is in a very different position.
And you can see they're trying to apply some pressure down to the bottom lane because they realize this tower is not long for this world, but of course Ghost doing 50% less to buildings. You can definitely feel that right now as Saberlight is applying the pressure, but it's taking a lot longer than usual.
And the game's still in a great position for EG, taking the enemy's mid tower. That's a tough one for Sniper. He's only level 6 right now. Usually you expect to be able to spend more time hanging out mid, rotating into camps, going back to mid again. Now his safe place on the map to farm is just not really the same location. So he's going to be forced to do more jungling. He doesn't have any shrapnel levels either, so clearing jungle stacks isn't really up his alley here. So this 2 deaths that happened to him might really upend his game in a big way.
Yeah, and AG is already just taking control of this jungle area. They're putting the pressure over onto Tomato. You can see the Chen creeps going through. Abed's also nearby, so he's going to throw a cheeky orb out. Does have Dream Coil if they want to opt to use it here. In fact, they'll use it. to see the teleports coming out now from Saberlight. He already used that exorcism though, so they'll turn back around, but the pinstering coming out from TSM will ensure that they get the kill on Fly. Tomato though cleaning up these Chen creeps. He's more than happy to do that for sure.
Not the worst there for TSM. Net worth is still pretty even here. In the meantime, Arteezy's been pressuring top lane. That one is looking very dead.
I mean, it is a...
He's gonna opt for the Mask of Madness plus Phase Boots plus Deso. Pretty normal stuff.
It's quite the push strat coming out from Evil Geniuses for sure, as they're gonna rotate over to the mid lane. They see Saberlight. In comes the Solar Guardian. Nightfall wants to be a part, and Nightfall will get the kill.
I gotta say, we talked about how good the Lion is against the Nyx, but Lion plus Dawnbreaker seems so good in these mid-game fights, right? Because the disable you have is so reliable. A lot of the Dawnbreaker ulti combos are a little janky, you know? Kind of requires like a medium stun. You have to hope he doesn't get out of the AoE. Lion guarantees that full combo plus his spells afterwards without your opponent getting a chance to respond. So even though Crit's probably gonna die here in the jungle,
yep,
he's gotten a lot done already with help, as has Fly.
For sure, a little bit of an impale over onto Nightfall. And Meander's just gonna walk away. But yeah, the capabilities, like again, I know Lacoste was like talking up the Dawnbreaker quite a bit. He's like, we're gonna see more of this hero. This is definitely, you know, like Marcy and Dawnbreaker just seem to be two of those really popular heroes right now because they get a lot done, and especially having that global capability with the Solar Guardian to jump in the way that they're able to is super, super value.
It has been really good. Punishes your opponents, heals them. It's great offensively too. Nightfall currently kind of leaning against Moon. Moon desperately trying to catch up in levels. I mean, we're 10 minutes in, he's only level 4. Not a position you want to be in as the Nyx assassin, but Dubu does cheese out the mid tower a little bit using the Troll Warlord. Nicely done for him. And that's going to even up the map a bit, because now both teams have similar tower setups. So if TSM does want to get aggressive using an exorcism, well, speaking of which there is one going right now, it's a jungling exorcism. I actually don't blame Saberlight that much for this. The major objectives that you take at this time of the game is the mid tower or the safe lane tower. So using this to just try to get farm right now, I don't think is a terrible thing to do. His opponents aren't going to know that it happened either. So as long as they don't get ran over right now and are missing the exorcism, this will be fine.
I do feel like it's a little difficult though, because you've got Evil Geniuses putting the pressure on this tier 2. They've taken over the jungle away from Tomato, and they're just constantly invading here. It feels like EG has them kind of in this really tight position where they're forced to react to what they're doing and not be able to do what they'd like to do, if that makes sense.
They're running at Tomato right now in the mid lane.
They are
He's
indeed
pretty far up.
Yeah, that's going to be the Dream Coil. And again, we talked about the Solar Guard. They throw out the silence, but doesn't seem to matter because they've had the physical. Use a finger, and that's a kill for Abed. As now Saberlight, he is all alone on his own little island, it feels like. Although Dubu following up here is going to try to heal him back up with the sprites, and it's enough as we'll turn this right back around over onto the side of Evil Geniuses. Another silence, the slow, the impale. That's the kill for Bryle. But there is pressure being placed on this top tower as Arteezy's just allowed to whack away on it, and we'll take it out.
Yeah, Arteezy can be really happy about that. I gotta say, I'm pretty happy seeing Arteezy playing some new heroes this series. Felt like in the last couple tours, he was kind of relying on the same old, but definitely seeing some alternative heroes, and he's still performing well on them, obviously. So nice to see, but he gets the tier 2 tower while his team is busy trading the enemy carry for their 5 position. Absolutely worth it for EG right now. Net worth is still even, and they got some earned charges out of that. But I think they're gonna be really happy with how that went.
Yeah, it's interesting to see the way that we get the little bit of that replay here. Jump on Tomato, the Solar Guardian.
A little unfortunate that Moon Meander got there when he did. If he was just there a moment earlier, he could have stopped the Solar Guardian. Dawnbreaker wouldn't have even been able to show up. And maybe Tiny's able to survive as a result, but definitely a bit forward for Tomato, but his allies being kind of close by made him feel a bit comfortable. Ultimately didn't work out. Nyx Assassin setting up to watch top, looking like he might snipe a courier maybe, but...
Yeah, he's definitely trying to keep some tabs over here, trying to get any sort of information. Looks like Arteezy's doing a great job though with this building damage. They see Moon Meander. They have all the sentries down as Saberlight pops the Exorcism, but they're still looking like, oh no, he's got Spike Carapace. Moon Meander's going to survive a little bit longer. They can see Arteezy. Dreamcoil's going to use the back lines, but these ghosts are actually chewing through over here on Arteezy, and he will in fact fall. Saberlight now turning his attention over to Crit, sitting a little bit low. Nightfall's going to have to teleport out, and it doesn't look like they have any way of canceling out the TPE, but they will be able to peep Crit. And that's a nice team fight going over to the side of TSM. Fly does manage to go and teleport away.
Nicely done. I feel like Saberlight did the most damage. Yeah, he did by far. Him and Sniper, the brunt there. Spirit Siphon, sorry. Plus Spirit Vessel that's coming. It's going to be a huge amount of percentage-based damage. That is how you counteract this tanky lone druid hero. Even with his high magic resistance, when he true forms, he's still pretty vulnerable to it. So that's what gives him the nice team fight win there. Plus they put all that effort trying to kill Moon Meander. Moon Meander ended up, he did die, but he was able to slap a nice stun down right before his death. That bought them some space there. Allowed Saberlight to get the kills that he did. So decent position for TSM. Arteezy is going to start Roshan.
Oh, okay, they found themselves an Abed. That's just a dead puck.
Nice one.
Very valuable smoke coming out from the
Nyx
side of TSM, and they did just pick up the Blink Dagger on Tiny, so it was very, very valuable in the way that they did that reveal.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Very good. So yeah, getting Tomato into the game with the Blink is perfect. That's the exact hero that he's made to kill, basically. If he can chain stun Puck, they can layer it with Nyx Assassin, everything's going to be fine. Like how Dubu has been so focused on hitting these towers using his neutral creeps. Very easy to do it. I mean, they've got this extra armor built in from Enchant, so they just sit there tanking the tower. He does a lot of damage, and he's allowing his team to set tempo without having to commit something like Exorcism. Really getting a lot of value out of the Enchantress here.
Couple pings over here into this mid lane. As you can see, the side of TSM are converging. Abed does have himself that nice rune. Dreamcoil over onto 3, plus the Hex, and the Solar Guardian coming in hot from Nightfall will finish up Moon Meander. They're going to try to apply as much damage as they can to take down Saberlight, and it's not looking great here for Dubu. So a nice, precise strike coming out from the side of Evil Geniuses will now open up the Roche for them.
The precise thing was that Centaur stun from Fly. That was, I think it hit 3 heroes there. Ultimately, killing the Nyx Assassin at the start was very important. Get Spike Carapace out of there so that Dawnbreaker can cast his ultimate. Keep an eye on this once again. Silence comes in. Moon tries to Spike Carapace things. It's a bit late. There's one stun. Watch the second one. Here it comes. Boom, lands another stun. I think only a 2-man hero, but still excellent. Doesn't allow Death Prophet to get a lot of her spells off, and really, really nice response. But still, Puck's still a big nuisance. If you can't use Spike Carapace correctly, it's very difficult to catch him. But Abed did the right thing. He basically shies away. He allows the line to land a good stun with Dreamcoil. Okay, maybe they lose Dawn. Who cares? His ulti's on cooldown. Not a big deal.
It's a nice little strike back from the side of TSM, but yeah, I feel like there's a lot of... I feel like a lot of teams are trying to theory craft the best way to kind of deal with this Dawnbreaker that has become more and more popular. In fact, you see the BKB now picked up for Nightfall. We saw, I think it was, I want to say Wildcard was coming up with the idea. I think we saw Husky playing the Winter Wyvern, right? So you see that, you know, this Dawnbreaker is going to be jumping into the fight with the Solar Guardian. You wait patiently, use the Winter's Curse. That's a way to deal with it, I guess, as well. It's a bit expensive considering that it's an ultimate, but it's an ulti for an ulti. And then, you know, the Nyx Assassin, the idea is good, but like you said, it sometimes can require some high execution.
Yeah, the reflect duration is not very high in Carapace right now. It's only 2 seconds, so definitely needed at the right time. Moon Meander pulling out the creep wave, saying like, haha, EG, you cannot kill our tier 2. And then EG's like, okay, whatever, we're just going to kill your racks. Now you're going to have to TP back anyways.
Yeah, they got a bear problem. They got to get home. Motto just going to teleport over. Okay, Crit getting a little cheeky here, but Saberlight following up with the Exorcism gets a nice silence off. And it is an Exorcism just to scare them away, though. Not the most valuable or efficient. They are making their way through this area, and they might be able to run into someone else, although they don't have Brile there just yet. Brile did pick up that Satanic. Gotta be able to chew through some of these creeps at the very least.
Yeah, they definitely wanted more, but the roar from Arteezy was really powerful. threw Saberlight the wrong direction, definitely. If he's just a little bit more away, and I was surprised that it caught Saberlight, to be honest. He would have been able to chase Spirit Siphon, at least kill the bear.
It does feel like this Death Prophet is a pretty good solution to the bear with the Spirit Siphon. In fact, we're seeing that right now. You have to be careful, though. It feels a little bit like they're baiting over on the side of EG, but they do manage to take out the bear.
He went fast Satanic on Sniper. Okay.
Yep, he's got to find the solution.
I mean, this was kind of a popular build, I don't know, maybe like 6 months to a year ago, but Satanic's been nerfed a couple times since then. So I'm a little surprised to see it getting played here, but that is one way to keep the hero alive.
I mean, you do what you got to do, like we said. Bear is...
I mean, he's going to be a lot stronger when it hits 25 minutes than his armor, his agility, all those bonuses.
They got to survive until that point, though, as they open up a nice toss over into the other hand. God's going to get used, but they end up losing Moon Meander. They'll end up losing Saberlight as well. Fly next to fall. Tomato getting poked away here by Abed. A bit of peep shot over out to Crit. Not going to be able to assassinate him completely. Does have the salve. Gets canceled out by one of the creeps. And TSM. They jumped over at this opening, but they're down 2 people right now. And again, RTC still has that Aegis. So they're
just doing such a good job playing around Nyx. It's incredible. Every single time, despite that being the counter, Dawnbreaker's ultimate has been able to be utilized. In that case, it looks like he popped BKB to channel it. So used his first bit of gold to guarantee his ultimate could come out. Because if it does get interrupted, it's catastrophic, right? You interrupt your ulti so you don't get heal, and you're also not at the fight, so then your team has to fight a 4v5, so guarantees that everything goes well for his team. But really it was about the first couple times that he used it. The fact that those were successful gives him his BKB at a good timing, and now from here until the end of the game he's going to keep BKB ulting in fights just so that he can guarantee the justification of his hero. And frankly, considering his KDA has been much better than Moon's so far, and Moon's impact has been lesser, I would say that this is a fine place for EG to be in. He's, he had to buy an item and he's going to have to use it in a little bit of an annoying way, but at least he didn't lose his lane like Moon Meander did because he was playing Nyx Assassin.
Now, I know a while back that we've seen a solution to Dawnbreaker was just simply, picking up a silencer, using him as a support or something like that. Is that a possibility? We'll see something, especially with the fact that, BKBs have been nerfed quite a bit as a solution. Although they're setting up here on Fly. Have a toss. Easy peasy.
Are you saying to counter the Dawn?
The Dawn pick? Just because of the, the Solar Guardian and the global capability.
The other one, Global Silence is the other major counter, but... So I think it has to be solved in the draft stage a bit, or you have to move across the map to kill Dawnbreaker where she is. Right. That way, the enemy, the rest of their team is somewhere else, like the Spectre solution, very similar. Those are the different ways. Nyx Assassin is still a decent solution. Maybe he messes up his BKB usage later, but now that Nyx has a Blink Dagger, I think it's gonna be a lot easier for Moon Meander to play these fights.
Yeah, you can see the way that he's been babysitting Brile here in this middle lane in case he gets jumped on. Moon Meander's in a good position to immediately defend his sniper.
Yeah, he's aiming for Puck or somebody to jump, Lion maybe to jump him. Then he can jump in with Spiked Carapace and interrupt the Solar Guardian. The hard thing is that how early is too early?
All right, there's a nice opening, and then we see the Spiked Carapace coming into play. It came just at the right time, as they will take out Crit. But using the Dream Coil, and that's a nice spear coming out from the bear. We'll snap it. Turn back around, because Tomato, he has his blink, he's got the avalanche. They've got a lot of damage here to deal with this bear, and in fact, they will take him out. Now the follow-up, a good stomp from the Centaur, going to slow down this chase coming out from the side of TSM.
Really nicely done. That time the Spike Carapace was effective. Nightfall did not pop BKB for his Solar Guardian. He was able to interrupt it using Spike Carapace. They kill the Lion, they kill the bear, and now they get to be a bit aggressive. RT's got to be careful. If he loses his bear a second time, that would be pretty catastrophic, but best thing they can do is just pull the creep wave. Don't let them approach the tower.
It definitely feels like the Solar Guardian has been instrumental in a lot of cases earlier for these fights. So they do have a sentry. They do see that Moon Meander's making his way over. Crit gonna blink forward. Get out the Assassinate. See if they can get a stomp here with the Centaur on the back lines. And jump forward here from Tomato. Avalanche toss. They'll take out Crit. Won't have to worry about that. They'll also remove the Centaur here. And that will leave a little bit of an opening for the side of TSM.
Yep, Wraith Pact rush there. Used a little bit, but Moon Meander ultimately tanking things up just fine. Now they get to control the Tri-Camp. It's going to force EG across the map a little bit, give them a very slight net worth advantage.
And I feel like they want to take advantage of the fact that the Solar Guardian is down. They're also down 1 man, but pretty short cooldown. It's going to be back up for the Dawnbreaker in about 7 seconds, and as is the Lion, so. TSM.
I love how Dubu's positioned here. Just sitting in the place where they're going to want to run through, whether they smoke or not. Just sitting there, spotting things out. Very survivable. Treads, 20-stick wand, 4 staff. He's got the magic resistant talent too. He does not want to let EG run. Okay, they're smoking through. Abed's going to show first, but he's not smoked. And now the rest are...
Yeah, they realize, oh, it's a nice avalanche. Oh my goodness, that's so much damage. Immediately going to end up losing crit, and they're going to be able to take out Arteezy. Very nicely played here from the side of TSM.
Oh, we just saw the power of Wraith Pact. It aggroes the exorcism ghost. But ultimately, the important thing that actually happened, the monster Avatos was incredibly good. Again, the Solar Guardian got interrupted by Spike Carapace. And he lands a great follow-up stun. They killed Arteezy. He's dead for 26, and they are not slowing down here. That's a DD on Bryle. He's got Butterfly Satanic. His item build looked a bit iffy before, but now it looks perfect.
Moon Meander trying to get some more information. The fortification's going to get used over on the base. But they've got creeps in the bottom area, and TSM will claim their first tier 3 here. You have to be careful. Arteezy's going to be up.
25 minutes too. 3 more Wraith Bands for the Sniper just ticked into existence. He's got tons of armor, 25 plus 12, not to mention the evasion. Like him against the bear, very powerful. Like this lone Druid Bear, he has a Deso. And he's like 1,400 gold towards an AC. He is nowhere close to an MKB. So Sniper is going to be really tough for EG to kill from here on out, unless they commit all of their spells to him. Like Puck, Lion, Dawnbreaker spells, everything. Very good place for Bryle to be in this game with this super, super fast Butterfly. And he got the Grove Bow, of course.
Smoke play coming out from the side of TSM. The opening, they'll find Arteezy. They've got so much damage, they just absolutely blow him up. As now EG having to back away. Nightfall, though, jumping forward. They use the Dream Coil over onto multiples. They're going to try to take down Tomato. It looks like it's going to be able to connect. So that's going to be a dead Tiny, but Fly cannot get away fast enough. As again, TSM, all right, they're going to see if they can punish Moon Meander for being a little bit too cheeky here. Goes for the Impale, not going to quite connect. But they do manage to land the Spike Carapace, sitting in the middle of all that hammer. Fire all over the ground. So a nice precise strike coming out from from TSM, but they do end up losing Tomato here. So without the Tiny, looks like they're going to back off.
I think it's totally fine considering the fact that they have 2 carries on their team. They've got a Sniper and they have a Tiny. So picking off Arteezy, taking him off the map to get hit creeps. He's already behind in his itemization here. He's going to be forced to go AC second, and they're still not going to have solutions against the Sniper. So they are very well positioned.
This is the most bizarre thing in this series, that we have a Sniper in this series meta, right? Like, who would have thought?
Yeah.
It's so bizarre.
Yeah, that was kind of weird that they went for that pick, but I guess it's trending back. I mean, Pure showed us in the EU Div 1, it's a very powerful hero, can be very effective, so not the most surprised.
Right,
okay, he gave the Titan Sliver to Tiny. That was really neat. I was a little surprised about that. It's like the perfect Tiny item, huge base damage, gonna give him 60 damage, magic resistance, status resistance, perfect. Bryle brings his Grow Bow back. Still a very good item. So they just need to keep playing together. They're doing a good job.
You can see all this vision placed around this top area of the map. They want this control of the next Roshan. Do you have a kind of a deep Dire Ward placed over onto the side of the Radiant? But Radiant also having so much vision wrapped around this pit.
Yeah, that ward was the one that got them that Arteezy kill earlier in that mid-fight. They spotted him there, went for him, said, screw the bear, let's kill Arteezy. They were successful on that.
Double damage.
Arteezy, he has opted into a Wraith Band here. Sometimes is a great thing to do if your opponents have a lot of physical damage, and that's the case. Between the Sniper, the Ghost do physical damage, the Tiny right click. It's a good game for the armor.
Yeah, we're seeing the pings.
Did the ward catch?
They know. Look at the way the Tomato's positioned. Yeah, Tomato knows. Are you kidding me? That Avatar, they just blow up crit immediately. Endicott does come out. There's going to be the follow-up here coming out for Nightfall. Use the BKB. It's a nice hit, though, over onto the back line. So going to just blow up Fly. He is absolutely dead. Nightfall going to have to teleport away. I believe Crit bought back during that engagement. This is going to just open up this Roche so nicely for the side of TSM. Yeah, look at this. Waiting patiently, jump forward. Hello, that's like a 4-man avalanche right there.
God, that was so good.
The choke
Puts
point,
Arteezy at
Dota.
half HP.
Oh, Moon Meander.
Instantly kills him.
Moon Meander, he's found himself an Abed. Does end up getting Hex. They're gonna wait patiently here as he blinks away. The toss up though, and Abed's gonna just sidestep very nicely here. It's a little bit of a gobbo play.
That's a nice go. Just goes after him, drains his mana, knows that Puck can't re-engage as a result. I mean, Puck's got huge int, sitting about 130 or so. So every mana burn is going to take his fighting capacity pretty much out for the next engagement. So still perfect position. Aegis on Sniper. Looks like his Daedalus is finished. It is.
Yep. And
Daedalus, Butterfly, Satanic. God.
At 29 minutes.
And he's got the shard now. Concussive Grenade is really good. Okay, here comes EG.
Okay, we see an opening over to Moon Meander, but the follow-up from Tomatoes immediately as he gets rid of Crit and Fly. Oh my god. Dream Coil's gonna come out. They're gonna try to use the Solar Guardian, try to buy a little bit more time, get a stun off. Does manage to land over onto Dubu. The chase is on after Tomato as Arteezy now trying to just fight away here, but he's looking not very healthy because the Sniper is just being allowed to sit so far back. The heal coming out over onto Dubu. He's gonna be able to survive a little bit longer. Concussive Grenade coming up Brawl. He wants this kill on Arteezy. They end up getting the kill on Dubu. The Fear coming out, the Entangle, and in comes Saberlight. So they'll be able to get the kill on Arteezy. The chase is on though, as Nightfall, he's just trying to get some damage off, but again, Abed keeps popping back and forth. This Sniper is just a reign of terror. He is just peppering everyone. As he's continuing, he would like to get some hits over here on Fly. There's the grenade, like we said. It's been a very good shard. He just cuts through Fly. I believe that is a dieback. And now Abed sitting over on the top. The silence coming into play. He's still going to be very tricky to get your hands on, hold on long enough because he is a puck, but in comes Bryle. Just going to click him here. Doesn't look like he's going to be able to finish him off. I got a little worried there for a moment. I was like, what's the plan here, Abed? What you doing? But he's, I guess, he's just being cheeky.
It looked a little spooky there for Bryle for a moment, but he finally was able to kill Arteezy there, and as a result, they win the fight. Great initiation by Tomato once again. Nyx Assassin got almost no value out of his hero, got hexed right away. Really nice catch by Crit, but ultimately the Sniper is so farmed at this point. He's too tough to fight into with the Butterfly and the Satanic and the Daedalus, and he's even got the Paladin Sword, so his lifesteal is really high.
The real question is, Purge, if this goes to a Game 3, which it's looking a little like it's trending that way, do we see the Sniper make it into the draft? Or do they ban this nonsense?
I'm not sold on it yet. It's looking great this game.
It is.
He's done well.
It looked good the last game too.
First phase ban though, I don't know. Maybe it gets in their head and they're just like, all right, take it out. But
I don't think it necessarily has to be a first phase. I guess they did pick it up pretty early though. Yeah, look at this. They can't approach him.
One thing that was hurting Brawl was that Wraith pack for most of that fight. We'll see if they can defend, but the bear can't even get close, I don't think.
No, like look at this damage coming out with the Daedalus. It just feels very impossible right now for the side of Evil Geniuses. Yeah, look at this. Brawl still holding on to that Aegis. Still very smart. Look at the way that his team's playing around him too. You know, Tomato just getting into position, just beats Crit down to death, and Crit just says, all right, I've had enough of this. Calls the good game.
He gave me the hee-hee ha-ha, right? Oh my gosh. What a game.
What a game.
Really nicely done. Fun to see Carry Sniper make the comeback. Or sorry, it was mid, but whatever.
It's basically, he was basically a carry. Like, let's be really honest. The damage that he was outputting